What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horne, and this is the NWA, the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. Of course, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance, and I am joined by perhaps the two most famous members of the National Wrestling Alliance, Kyle Davis and Joe Galli.
This is the NWA.
Wow.
It's like a double standard. Like this is. Hey, it's nice to be back, guys. I'm sorry I had to take some time off there. I had life was falling apart. I was trying to pick up the pieces in a fun way. Joe Galli's here. Look at him wearing merchandise. I'm not wearing merchandise because it's Connecticut. It's snowing. It's cold, and I forgot my nice warm hoodie. It's not with me right now, guys. Don't pack.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'm wearing merchandise too. I put on the hat especially for this.
Speaking of merch, where's the deal machine?
He is in the ocean, apparently. He said he's going to try to join, but
not on a boat, just floating in the ocean. He's
is he at the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Is there an Atlantean
Titanic.
contingent? Has there ever been an Atlantean chapter of the National Wrestling Alliance? Let's go to Wikipedia.
Atlantean. You mean to tell me that you believe that Atlantis was a real place?
Atlantis totally was a real place. If you look,
it was one of the best territories.
There obviously is a landmass which was derived from a lot of if you look at the ancient Polynesians that inhabited Easter Island and the evidence that we have, there was obviously a culture that existed somewhere in the Pacific in a large landmass which is now gone. Come on, Kyle.
One of my goals is to get a sound clip of Joe Galli doing bullseye, and use it for things just like that.
He can just record it for you. If you
bullseye.
Wait,
well, it has to be clean. So shut up, Kyle. And in 5, 4, 3. Shut up, Kyle. God damn. Use that as a soundbite.
We will.
Mute it. Hold on. I'm muting.
Bullseye.
That was 2 solid sound clips we got to get for the soundboard.
I see out here, Kyle, where's my Batman bottle? Okay, I don't know Batman bottle, but guys,
Polka Dot Pam knows what it's all about. Polka Dot Pam knows about Atlantis.
I bought some Marvel Legends figures for my birthday. I had my 40th birthday yesterday. And let me tell you, you don't know how to birthday unless you're a grown-ass man buying children's toys. But look at this. Fully posable. It's got different hands. Hulk smash. Whatever. As far as the date goes, guys, that's right. I had a date last week. That was fantastic. Good times indeed. Got some pizza. Made out in a car like a teenager. You know how it is, guys. Midlife crisis. Do what you're going to do. Get yourself through your drama.
You made out with the pizza?
Yes, I had so much pizza all over my face.
Yeah, but then he had sex with that couch behind him. So
never. It's never happened.
I don't believe
Yeah.
Also,
don't worry about it.
I'm going to be pretty tame because, ladies and gentlemen, I am crashing at my mother's house in Connecticut, and she is right beyond this camera.
He was talking to her earlier.
I don't care.
I would like. Can we get Kyle's mom as a guest? Have your mom come by just to say hi.
Mom, would you like to say hi real quick?
Yeah, I want to. What's your mom's first name?
Oh God, she's coming over.
She won't be able to hear
guys,
us.
this is my mother. This is Anne-Marie J. Davis. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. Good to see you.
Hi.
Everybody say hello to Kyle's mom.
Ask her about her hawk. I want to know how her hawk is.
So fun story. My mother is she's to the point where she just says things sometimes that make me freak out. And Joe Galli says, no, you're being difficult.
Completely
One
normal.
of the things is we're driving down the highway one day and she points to a bird and she goes, that's my hawk. And I was like, I'm sorry, my hawk? And I tell this to Joe and Joe goes, give her the benefit of the doubt, man. I've got a bird too. I see it every other day.
I got a hawk. I see it when I go to the gym. It's always hanging around. There's a couple of places it likes to hang out. So we're hawk friends. I DM your mom quite often on Instagram talking about her hawk.
I don't know if this is true or not.
It's a fact. This is true.
Look at all these people saying hello to your mother.
The chat wanted to say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi. She's responsible for the person
Except
I am.
Axel, who says hello, lady.
Good. Yep, you made me, and hopefully you never have to have another daughter-in-law.
So that is something unexpected. An unexpected guest was Kyle's mom tonight. Dave Scooby is not the first person to ask for the Joe Galli Bullseye t-shirts, so we got to get on those.
Maybe that'll be my new catchphrase. I've never had a catchphrase like Mauro Ronaldo always said "Mamma Mia."
Mamma Mia. Joey Styles had. Oh my God.
I think I was trying to imply that last week when we were talking about it. Is that you should possibly
Gabe Sapolsky, when he had a fake name when Ring of Honor started, and Gabe, who was the booker for Ring of Honor, pretended he was somebody else and did commentary, he would just randomly scream out, "Dangerous!"
That's pretty good. I like that.
Thanks.
Tell your mom her hair is being complimented in the chat.
Yeah.
So usually she's like all pomp and circumstance and made up and like wearing leather and high heels and shit like that. But she's just in for the night. So that's why
I like how your mom's a dominatrix. That's pretty cool. That's very progressive.
I mean, I don't want to give too much, but if you look at her social media, there's a lot of pictures of heels and feet.
Huh.
She's laughing right now because she knows I just called her out.
Hey, man.
Tell Kyle he needs to watch his language and to call you more often. Actually, the language is the problem. I don't call more often.
You live there now, though.
I mean, I'm a transient. I'm here until Orlando comes up.
Thought that was
at the beginning of March.
I don't know.
Guys, just in case you want to know, you can have anything to know about my life. I am an open book. I hide nothing.
You can hear a lot about it on the 33 podcast with William Patrick Corgan.
You can.
You think we would talk about music and autumn.
Somehow Kyle has taken over the 33 podcast.
But mostly it's about Kyle's sadness.
It's therapy. Well, Billy's gone through a lot. So he looks at me as a kindred soul that can learn from the things he's learned through years of dealing with it. So I don't repeat the same mistakes, like accidentally becoming a rock star. It's not going to happen.
I don't know what this comment means. Did someone light the cat on fire? Something smells weird, and I'm not sure.
I don't know what that means either.
Or this one about where's the Batman bottle? Is that something from another week that I don't remember?
I don't remember that.
From David here.
So downstairs, I actually do have in a box in the garage, because I have all this comic book collectible stuff, the old McDonald's glass Batman Forever glasses that came out that you could buy at McDonald's.
Those might be worth something.
No.
Maybe.
Well, all of that said, Kyle's mom showed up, and you think that was as awesome as it gets. But then there's this comment from Jeremy in the chat who says, "How's it get better than that? Simple, Anthony Andrews." And so
I think your wishes are command.
All right, well, let's do it. We promised the country gentleman, and let's bring him on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the country gentleman.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Cousin AJ, cousin Anthony, how we doing,
fellas?
Oh, it's good to see you guys.
Is that the RCW International Championship behind you, Anthony Andrews?
That I've had
that
for
is?
almost 3 years.
Did this accidentally get left in the background?
I didn't know we were wondering where I said
little
that.
trinkets. Just
Got some shirts going. We got merch.
can't see it.
What is Kyle doing? Cut Kyle's feed. Cut Kyle's feed right now.
I was getting my belt.
He's taking his pants off.
Country gentleman T-shirts. I heard those are going to be in Knoxville.
I like it.
Exclusively via pre-order or in Knoxville. Yeah.
Is there a reason why it's an orange Vols-like color? That's got to be just a weird coincidence.
I mean, the University of Tennessee is the greatest college football team and university on earth. So, being in Knoxville, we had to make an orange shirt. I thought that was a great selection, orange and white.
I also like that you have a selection of hats on your wall as well.
Well, you have to. You got to be ready for everything.
Yeah,
So,
and
I'm missing my chocolate colored one, but other than that, we're doing.
There you
pretty good.
go.
Anthony's got the colors in the back there, but it's just an Anthony Andrews. Oh no, it is the country gentleman shirt.
This is the one of a kind for Knoxville. It's the country gentleman football jersey. It's a 1-of-1, and that'll be available in Knoxville.
I mean, talk about one of a kind in Knoxville, Tennessee. You guys have a huge opportunity coming out, going for the United States tag team titles. And when I think of the United States, I think of a multitude of things. Currently, the Fixers with the red, white, and blue figured they're kings. But I also think gentlemen in the country manner in the United States, and you guys would definitely be an amazing representation. Do you think that this is your opportunity and the chance where you're going to walk away with the gold?
Anthony, you want to take it first?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing exemplifies this country like the country gentleman. That's the whole reason that we call ourselves that. This is America, and there's nothing that we need but that opportunity. It's not just a chance of us winning. Billy saw the fight in New Orleans. That's why we have this match again. That's, to me, in my mind, that's the only reason is he saw the start of this fight, and now he wants to see us finish it.
I'd like to think we got pretty close in New Orleans to becoming the new United States Tag Team Champions. Tempers may have gotten the best of us, but we've grown closer, Anthony. I think we can.
I'll take the blame.
We can say that confidently. Mm-hmm. We've grown a little closer as a tag team. We've had a few good outings, and it makes it even better that it's in my backyard. It's in my pasture, not in the trashiest city I've ever been to in my entire life of New Orleans. But
Thank you.
it's in a nice.
You're not going back to Chalmette for a nice vacation?
I mean, I wouldn't go down there for a relaxing vacation. No, not at all.
Speaking of a relaxing vacation, Danny Dealz is in the middle of the ocean right now, guys. He is.
I
figured
I'd add him since AJ was talking trash about New Orleans.
He's running orange.
That's basically all Dealz does.
Nobody cares what AJ's talking
Dealz,
about.
are you in the casino on a cruise ship?
Oh, what is he
I
doing?
was.
Yeah, right now I'm in the Bermuda Triangle right now, Kyle. I'm in the Bermuda Triangle, actually. I'm on my way. We're going to Dominican Republic and go say hi to Marty Bell. Yeah, I'm out here cutting deals, Daddy. That's what I'm doing. I'm out here in the Bermuda Triangle cutting deals. Nobody cares what you guys talk. But listen, here's real quick. You know how much this is costing me to do this? So on the 31st, Live Power, of course, the Dealz machine is going to be there. Alex is going to win the Champion Series. Nobody cares. And what happens with anybody else. And I'm going to have all kinds of new deals there. I know Gary didn't tell nobody. And but I got all kinds of new stuff coming. I made a new program. I made new bundles. I made new shirts. I got new banners. I got all kinds of stuff. But,
I
right now I'm out here just cutting deals in the Bermuda Triangle. I'm going to try to get the Loch Ness Monster in the IB board. Look at that. Look, got the pictures ready. Look at you.
You are very prepared. I like
It's all good. Gonna go see Sioux South Tennessee tonight. We're gonna get hammer with them later. Maybe I'll bring them to Knoxville with me. I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to poke my head in and tell everybody because nobody would
you
watch.
look adorable. I
like so I gotta make sure.
The dreads in the back.
The dreads. What are you talking about? Oh, the threads.
Oh, the threads, the dreads. No, I'm literally talking about your hair. It looks like dreadlocks at the bottom right now.
Well, maybe it does.
And
I don't know.
I just wanted to take a second and say,
I'm going to the islands. You know what I mean?
I wanted to say congratulations to the.
Right there, Andrews, I'm going to stop that shirt from being made right there. I'm telling the boss right now.
I wanted to take a second to tell you guys congrats on the Ill Begotten Boys for getting a tag team champion shot in Knoxville. Oh wait, no,
yeah,
you
we
guys
should
aren't.
get one. But
So
somebody...
like I said, I mean, Billy wants to see a fight, not a slaughter. So we're going to take on the Fixers.
No, you guys wrote him a check. That's what happened. Everybody knows that's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think there is some nepotism here. I mean, the Kazanas do run Knoxville. AJ's
they gave him the building for nothing or something. They cut a deal on the building or something.
I think we worked for that shot and earned it. But hey,
Deals.
Whatever excuse
Jesus
you got to deal with.
While we're piling on, I was going to save this for later but the country gentlemen are being good sports. Did you?
No, see, look, you want a big reaction when the Ill Begotten win the title, so you need to make sure that fixers have to wrestle a bunch of tomato cans so they get some wins under their belt. So it's a bigger deal when we take the belt.
Dealz, did you see?
That's got to be it.
Did you see Matt Cardona on WrestleZone, Dealz?
On what?
On WrestleZone.
No,
like he just did an interview. See if you can see this clip. It's like less than a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I would love to see action figures for NWA. There's definitely
I can't see anything
potential for that, and there's so many.
What am I looking at?
Toy companies pop.
Fine, we'll share. We'll
he's
save
talking
it for
about small
day.
toy companies. I think he's talking about something.
He basically Matt Cardona in his WrestleZone interview recently said he doesn't know who the merch guy is for NWA, but he'd love to do the job if they pay him enough.
Ooh,
help out.
I know the merch guy for the NWA, and he gives me great deals.
Yeah, I do too. But
all right.
I mean,
I can't wait for the new merch coming up. Knoxville, Tennessee. All sorts of new items, all sorts of things. You just saw the banners. You haven't seen the T-shirts. You haven't seen the wearables.
What you want? You make a shirt of him. He's like, hey, where's my cut? It's 90-10 me, isn't it? I mean, that's what. What
you know what's great about this podcast? Things get so real so soon.
The country gentlemen are here, and I'm trying to talk to them. And then
we've
Dealz,
not gotten
course,
one offer for a T-shirt from the Dealz machine. Can you believe that?
Come on, Dealz. You're not trying to help out the country gentlemen here. The Ill Begotten have a shirt, and the country gentlemen, they're not getting the hookup through the NWA merch shop.
There's not one single, nepotism. Not one single email, phone call, text message, nothing from the Dealz machine, Danny Dealz himself. And I see him all the time. He acts like he doesn't know me when I see him, but we'll let that go.
No, well, I saw you made a shirt on your own, and you didn't let me make it, so I can't put it on the shop.
Well, I was never asked.
I can cut a deal with you. You guys never
I said, hey, I got
to.
these ideas. Brother. We got creative minds on the farm, but you just said, you just laughed in my face and walked away. So I was there. You were there.
I can't hear it because there's some bad music playing in the background, but.
Maybe if you guys win the U.S. tag team titles, the Dealz machine will finally help out, get some some merch in the NWA store.
Can you guys do me
Yeah,
a
I'll
big
cut a
favor?
deal with anybody. Even got a shirt made for the gift.
If
That's right.
I'm not throwing shade here, but if you do beat the Fixers for the U.S. Tag Team titles, can you please make sure that you get the new belts from Billy that he tried to give to Wrecking Ball? Because there was just something about those. I think they'd look good on somebody. If they don't want them, I want somebody to have those.
That's definitely something the chat is bringing up a lot here.
Oh, there it is.
Absolutely.
I would definitely be a
Absolutely.
fan of the new belts or the old belts, or it's just the title as the United States Tag Team Champions. I could carry around my regular belt for all I care, as long as I got that title.
Crazy thing, we're gonna get actual nameplates for him, not duct tape. If that's okay with
Well, they use
Billy,
athletic tape. They don't even splurge for duct tape.
He's a new bodyguard.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Where's my bodyguard? Where'd he go? No, he's gone. All right. Anyway,
Dealz, what is going on over there?
I'm going back to the Bermuda Triangle.
All
Go
right.
have fun. Go have fun with the aliens. Go find
Don't come
Atlantis.
back.
Go start that new NWA territory in Atlantis like Joe talked about.
Atlantis.
All right. Thanks, Dealz.
Good riddance.
All right. So
Hey,
Dealz got sucked into the Bermuda Triangle, and we could actually have more of a discussion about this.
Fantastic.
finally.
You are talking about any titles. A lot of people are fans of those new ones that Billy brought out. So it'd be cool to see you guys if you win the titles to finally, since Wrecking Ball is apparently really opposed to this idea. He's they want to see those new.
He's
red
a creature
leather.
of habit. He's not a big fan of change. So being a creature of habit,
Do you know why he's not a big fan of change? He can't figure out how to do the math when it's in his hand.
Whammo. Look at
Hey-o,
that.
bam!
Absolutely. We're excited for him. We've talked about those titles. We saw when Billy tried to have the Fixers represent them. I'm a big fan of taking championships around the country, representing the companies that I work about. I know AJ is as well. We see each other in different states. Down in North Carolina a couple months ago. I think he's coming out to Texas here soon too. So we're a big fan taking those championships, traveling around the country. Not just that, we have Mexico in a couple months. You guys know that. So we're looking forward to representing the U.S. Tag Team Championships all over the world.
March 4th, World is a Vampire Festival coming at you, Mexico City. Go online, get your tickets. They are going fast. We're waiting to announce the next thing that will be taking place in an international standpoint. But I need to know, Anthony, where do I get that T-shirt you're wearing? I like that.
This one, well, this is just a one-on-one so far, but we got to talk to Dealz, see if these.
Let's talk to
these
Dealz
go
about
live
that.
on the,
I'm a fan of
yeah,
that.
on the website. Legacy, representing AJ, the entire family, the thoroughbred country gentleman.
I really
You
like
get-
that one. That's
Get
good.
that logo right there.
Sharp.
Hold on, let me see if I can stretch that Longhorn a little bit.
Country
Oh,
gentleman.
look at that
Right there.
tricep, guys.
Give 'em more.
That's a horseshoe-shaped tricep, too.
Got kicked
Give
by
him
the horse earlier.
Give him the flex.
Look at that.
So
Give him
Kyle
the
understands that.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like that.
You guys, what kills me about this matchup that you guys have coming up is that I want to get your thoughts on is that you two are used to being the hosses in the fight. You two, I've seen you in person. You're large gentlemen, very imposing and very powerful, but you're up against two guys that might, I guess, be bigger than you. What's your strategy look like when power might not be the option for the country gentlemen?
You want to tackle that one, AJ?
I can start. I mean, it's not going to be the biggest fight we've ever been in by any means. It takes a well-rounded athlete, some of the best wrestlers in the world, to overcome challenges and obstacles that are laid before them. But I think it really just comes down to it that that they can be the studs in their pasture, but they're coming back home to Tennessee, and in Knoxville, Tennessee, I'm the biggest stud in the pasture. Anthony's the biggest stud in the pasture, and it's just going to come down to us being just a little bit meaner than them. I think's what it's going to end up being, Anthony. You correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, I completely agree, and that's what I was talking about in New Orleans. Everyone saw that fight. So you saw at the Christmas special us versus Spectaculars, and we're throwing them around the ring. So what are you going to do? Are you going to throw the Spectaculars in with the Fixers and see that? No, you're going to see two guys who can go in there and actually fight the Fixers. That's exactly what's going to happen. Knoxville, January 31st. We're going in for a fight. That's what Billy wants to see. That's what everyone tunes into the NWA for. And we're going to fight and see who the best tag team in the U.S. is. That's why we have this match.
I like that answer. Some people in the chat saying you also might outsmart the Fixers. So
I don't know. Jay Bradley is the self-proclaimed one king of the United States. He's a self-proclaimed captain of all of professional wrestling. He is, I think, he is considered the leader, if you will, of the Fixers. I don't think they have a full brain between the two of them, and I'm not sure they've got half the guts that we have either. So we'll see if they even decide to show up in Knoxville. Hell, they might not even show up.
Hey, look at that. They might. And now Scott's saying in the chat, they certainly won't have the confidence the Fixers have. I mean, I guess that's confident. They do yell Fixers rule a lot. So that's
well, here's one thing I think I've said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it every single time I step into any room. An alpha doesn't have to announce that he's an alpha. I don't have to tell people how good I am. I'll let you guys do that. Kyle Davis does that enough for me.
I mean, I must be a beta because I'm never saying I'm an alpha. Wait, hold on.
But it's loudest. The empty barrels make the loudest noise, and they're pretty empty here and
country
here
sayings.
Probably. Oh yeah. Well, that's not country. That's just athlete sayings, man.
An empty barrel makes the most noise.
Yeah, an empty barrel makes the loudest noise, baby.
Interesting. That dog don't.
You never heard that?
No. I grew up in Connecticut. We don't have empty barrels.
You don't have old barrels or anything.
I do like that.
All our barrels are full, damn it.
I also like the not having to announce the alpha thing.
Although legit, we have like dairy farms and shit here, so I could made a dairy farm comment. I would have gotten that. Yeah.
Although Noni in the chat pointing out the holding the belt. Yeah, so maybe the belt.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be one of the biggest matches happening on the first ever live Power. You can make history in more than one way, and I'm pulling for you in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's going to be on January 31st, Tuesday night. We had to bump it up an hour because we want to make sure people can be there live and in person. So make sure you're tuning in to YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Witness it all as it happens. And all that show is going to do is going to build up quite a bit momentum because we are leading to Enough Said on pay-per-view coming to you February 11th, Tampa, Florida. I tell you to go to NWATix.com for that. But unfortunately,
sold out, baby.
But Knoxville, some tickets still remain. So if you could be in the area Tuesday night, you ain't got nothing going on except family. Bring the family. Check it out.
It's no joke in Knoxville. You check that ticket page; they're moving fast now. So it's
brother. Word is out. There are posters everywhere in town, all the way from East Knoxville down to West Knoxville in the New Money area. Man, people are excited about it. I've gotten stopped up here in up towards Dandridge area, Sevierville, it's Norristown. I mean,
I heard New Money area. That's an interesting place to call from. Is it a possibility that the Country Gentlemen, if they win the tag team titles, will all of a sudden show us that they don't care about the country anymore and they're now going to sail from New Money, Knoxville?
Absolutely not. No, sir. I'm pretty comfortable with
keeping it real. Okay, just making sure. I'm going to hold you to that.
There's going to be a lot of holding.
This isn't an insult because you're a big boy. You got a big body, and that's why you got a big head. It matches the body. So I don't want you to get a bigger head on your shoulders after this and start claiming I'm from New Money, Knoxville. I'm not going to play for that. The fans aren't going to play for that. I'm wishing you the best until you start pulling that crap with me.
Appreciate it, I guess.
Jug of water.
Yeah, Kyle's something else. You'll get used to that. I'm sure we'll have you guys back, and you can hear more of Kyle ranting. Noni in the chat said, Kyle, that your mama probably calls you an alpha. So there's that.
No, she thinks I'm the greatest thing. I literally, I went and did karaoke with Velvet the other week, and she goes, just, be careful. She might have ulterior motives. And I think you think Velvet Sky's hanging out with me to do karaoke because she has interest in newly single Kyle. You got a lot going for you. My mom's my biggest fan.
Kyle, I've never once been invited to do karaoke with you. I sing a pretty mean George Strait.
Nice. Oh, I got drunk and sung Smashing Pumpkins song and sent it to Billy Corgan in the middle of the night. Don't do that.
No, that's the whole point of karaoke. That's after we win the titles, we'll have to head out to karaoke with Kyle.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh, actually, you know what? The Knoxville Hotel is conveniently located right next to the Coliseum or Convention Center. Let's call it a Coliseum. I like that. Feels like it's Roman, like some shit's gonna happen.
It is big. That's why there's so many tickets that are available. The space is huge.
Yeah,
it actually might be a little bit bigger than it was the last time we were there. So keep that in mind. It's actually going to be. We have a lot of space to fill, and that's why it's exciting.
I might have accidentally gotten too big of a room.
No,
we'll see how it goes.
It's a country gentleman coming back home.
Next time we'll actually book the Coliseum, and we'll put 10,000 people in it.
Love it.
I like that. I like that idea.
Quick question, guys. As a tag team who's finding their stride with title opportunities, is there a tag team that you find really fits the idea of what you have as a tag team together, where you're like, that's a team we can emulate, somebody who kind of like motivates, or at least you're a fan of?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the pairings of a Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody, and I know I'm trying the Miracle Violence connection.
Miracle Violence yes, Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Yeah, I mean, like those kind of tag teams. The Road Warriors are good to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, I just like big burly wrestling.
I'm always
a fan of meat.
Exactly. I'm a fan of the Brainbusters. That's just me because they always work so well together. That's another thing I think AJ and I have is you saw at the end of Us versus Spectaculars, AJ wasn't even looking at me, and I holler for him. He's right behind me. He turns around with that big lariat, and that's how we got the win. We just have that. We have that connection, that chemistry that we're able to work together from knowing each other for so long, being family. That I like those kind of teams that are able to think and just be in the right spot together. So I enjoy those. FTR right now, currently, of course, because they're practically the same team. But same thing, you always know that you can count on your partner. They're there when you need them. I think that's always another advantage we have is we're family. We're not going to worry about anything else except watching each other's back. That's always been what we've done. So I think it works really well with us now.
Crockett Cup right around the corner, too. We'll have an announcement about that shortly. So I'd hope that you gentlemen be involved in there.
Yes.
And speaking of Knoxville, Tennessee and live power, one of the other big things that's going on is to be the wedding of Aaron Stevens, May Valentine. And I just want to ask you, gentlemen, is there anything you'd like to give him advice about relationships? Because I got nothing because mine failed.
Well,
on that note, I'm just going to point out, like I said, family is the most important thing. And that goes for all aspects. If you're bringing someone into your family, just take care of each other, support each other. Always have the best intention, look out for each other. But man, I hope you're doing all right, Kyle. Jeez.
He is not doing all right. You went
to karaoke with Velvet Sky. Cry me a river, Kyle. Cry me a river.
That's a great point.
That's a good song to do karaoke.
Cry Me a River would be a great karaoke song. Tuesday night, tomorrow night. I'll try to do that one if I make it out there.
Awesome.
Oh boy.
He's always on here. Every guest we get, he is just looking for them to lift him up. And so he managed to do that today. Adorable Anthony Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, not just adorable, the adorable thoroughbred.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, country gentlemen, we appreciate you guys stopping by here. We know you folks are busy and you got a big match to prepare for. So thanks for jumping on the live stream and talking to the people for just a minute. Any last words either of you want to throw out to the fixers before we let you guys go?
I mean, that would just be my point is we got family, we got each other walking into Knoxville. It's AJ's hometown. So I know the fixers rule. They think they're kings, but I think that fixers rule is about to end.
It's time to end the tyranny. I know they don't know what that means, but it's time to end this false kingship of one Jay Bradley and one Wrecking Ball Legursky. And if I'm not mistaken, the Revolutionary War was fought by farmers and country folk against a bunch of kings across the sea. So if you're going to bring it, boys, just bring your best shot. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry. The right answer was just screaming out country gentleman rule. Thank you guys for your time. That's all it would have taken.
Darn.
No, I wish you the best. I think you got one hell of an opportunity, and I'm pulling for you because, like I said, country gentleman rule. And let's face it, there's no better win than in your own hometown. Make it happen.
I'm excited for this match. This is one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to at NWA
It's going to be
Live.
literally the biggest match there.
That's a great
If you
point.
can do the weight math, I don't know if that ring's going to handle it. I've been in that ring with some big old boys, but not this much weight.
Meat slapping meat, folks.
We're gonna need Jared Fritz refereeing it for sure, just to keep the weight down.
Put that petition in.
TCG
You got Joe Galli here. He
TCB.
can make it happen.
Damn, Mark, that's hard to say. The country gentlemen are taking care of business. That's easier to say instead of just
TCG.
initials.
Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you again. And January 31st, coming up next Tuesday night at the first ever live NWA Power, the country gentlemen are challenging for the United States Tag Team titles. Best of luck, guys. We appreciate it. All right. Thank you again. All right. We'll say good night to the country gentlemen, and we're back. There's Joe Galli, like big, large and in charge on screen.
You know, Gary, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I know we have here for our friends in the wrestling world. And I know we're having a lot of fun right now, but I want to take a minute to talk about Jay Briscoe. Obviously, you know, if you're watching the stream, you probably know what happened with him and what's going on with his family and his daughters at this point. You know, we've sent out some statements. I think, Gary, we've got some graphic that we can put up right now. We want to make sure that, you know, all these wrestling fans, if you haven't had a chance to help donate to the Pugh family, and then it's givesendgo.com/PughLove. And we want to make sure that, you know, even with insurance, there's a lot of things that aren't taken care of a lot of times. There's been a lot of outpouring of support from some of the top names in professional wrestling, and then just regular people just donating, you know, $5 here, $5 there. So, you know, Crockett Cup winner, arguably one of the best wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots, and especially just so dominant with the tag team with Mark. So we just want to send a shout out to the Briscoe family. You know, Ring of Honor has always been a nice partner with us. You know, we go back quite a ways, you know, and I just wishing the family the best and praying for them. And I know a lot of people are too. I don't want me to be a downer, but I think it's important that we continue to spread that message out there that family's going to need help going forward in any way that you can. If you've got a couple extra dollars to help them out, I think you should.
This was the first photo I ever had with Jay the year before I broke into Ring of Honor and became his coworker. Look at those baby faces right there.
Wow.
Youth.
That's amazing.
And good news, I saw online today that his daughter has regained feeling in her legs. I saw his wife post something about that. I hope that is not some fake thing that somebody reposted, but that is good news because people are healing. And I could tell you my history with the Briscoes is when we used to do the HD Net tapings in Ring of Honor back in the day on Mark Cuban's HD Net. We'd film at the old ECW arena. If you've ever been there, there's an underpass above the highway right in the back of that. And the Briscoe family literally used to have their parents would show up, their aunts, their uncles, their families. They'd throw up, they'd show up with these like tractor trailer trucks, like RVs and stuff like that. And they'd all park there and they'd all put in a circle and they'd have a bonfire and we'd have a cookout in the back of there. And every one of us that worked with them over those last several years of Ring of Honor before, you know, it changed to Sinclair, we knew every member of that family because we got to spend time with them. And to have such a tight-knit family was one of those things that always kind of made me be like, that's amazing. Without that tight-knit family, without their faith, I'm not a big faith person, but I can tell you this much. The faith that family has in each other and in a higher power is going to get them through this. And I can only imagine, because I hope I never have to understand what they're all going through right now. Mark Briscoe, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to the entire Briscoe family. Jay literally was one of those people that I thought was going to be 80 and would be smacking his great-great-grandchildren in the back of the head, trying to toughen them up and be like, man up. And then also would give him a hug because he was a super sweet freaking guy. Shit happens and the most unexpected things happen at the most unexpected times. And I don't know if things happen for a reason or not, or if just things are shit at times. But at the end of the day, Jay affected people in a level that I don't think he ever realized he did, be it family as a professional wrestler or just as a human being. Help the family out. Go to GoFundMe. My thoughts and prayers are with him, and I actually mean that, unlike whenever you see shit like that on TV, guys. Cut too short. Amazing career, amazing human being, loved by many. Big buck gonna win. He will be missed.
Just as a fan perspective, I can say this. You know, obviously we all know, just from being in the crowd or seeing the Briscoes live, there's nothing more electric than that, especially when their music would hit and that whole reach for the sky thing, and then like just them coming out and then it just those two guys were so legit in the ring, and me getting the opportunity to do what I do right now and be backstage sometimes for these things. You know, I've met a lot of people in the National Wrestling Alliance, and it's always like a big moment for me to get to meet somebody new that I haven't seen before, you know, or like that I've only seen on TV, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Even you'd expect to start to get used to that, but at the Crockett Cup, I remember just like even getting the opportunity on here to interview them and then to meet them in person at the Crockett Cup. I don't know what I expected, but only knowing them from their persona on television, meeting them in person, you talked about that, Jay, not even realizing how much he impacted people. I think was such a humble guy backstage and just so kind. And I remember him just like one of the first times we interacted was him asking a favor and just like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but can you do this? And in my brain, and probably even out loud, I was just like, are you kidding me? You're the goddamn Briscoes. I'll do whatever you want. And it was, I don't know, just amazing to meet them in person and see how generous and just good guys they were. And so they're everything you'd hope they'd be.
This was a Crockett Cup. All of us that were Ring of Honor guys having a kind of little reunion. And that was just nice because, you know, you get to share a lot of memories and moments with people. And to think that, you know, 15 years later, you get to see each other and be in the same place all over again. And like I said, you never know when's the last time you're going to see somebody is. So just like appreciate those moments. If you see somebody, if you want to get a picture with a friend, a family member, even if they're not somebody in this industry, don't hesitate because, you know, loss happens, unfortunately, especially the older we get. I told the story online, and I'll tell the story here. Boom. Oh, screwed up my camera.
Dark Kyle.
Dark Kyle.
It'll come back. There
we go.
There we are.
New camera. Who dis? Like Jay is one of the nicest people I've ever met, but he's also one of the scariest people I've ever met. And I remember we were all in a hotel room after a show when we were drinking. This was probably 16 years ago. And we're up there and we're all joking around and we're busting balls as one does. And then I made a comment about Mark Briscoe and Jay was next to me. And I looked over and Jay had all of a sudden no longer smiling, very stern face, eyes focused on me. It was like when you're in the woods and you come up on a bear that's like protecting its cubs and you're like, oh no. So I put my eyes down, I backed up and I walked backwards out of the room. I said, I'm so sorry. I've made a horrible mistake. You guys have a great night. And I walked out of the room before anything horrible happened to me because it was about to happen to me. And the next morning, I have Jay and Mark Briscoe come up to me. And Jay goes, hey, man, I'm sorry. I had a drink in me last night. I love you, man. I don't want you to be upset. I like you. Don't take any hard feelings. And then he gave me a hug. That was the type of man he was. If you did something that affected him and his family in a negative manner, you would hear about it and possibly pay for it. But as long as you were respectful and did the right thing, that man would not be that person. He would be the most sensitive, emotional human being possible. And usually you don't find, like, we live in a real tough guy world, and it's a tough guy business where people are afraid to show emotion and act upon that. But that guy right there, covered from head to toes from tattoos, a chicken farmer who's raising his daughters the right way, who has made mistakes and learned from mistakes and evolved and grew as a human being. That guy right there had no problem from his heart telling you he was sorry if he made a mistake and being there for you if you needed him. So, Jay Briscoe, man, one of a kind.
Definitely, if you are able and can, please consider going over there to givesendgo.com/PughLove. As PUGHLOVE if you're just listening to this. But please donate to that family because they've obviously losing a father, a husband, that sort of thing. You've got a hard road ahead. And so that family's going to need all the help they can get.
Yeah. But I think one thing that, Jay definitely would want us to continue, moving forward and entertaining the fans and putting together the best show possible. And that's why I'm really looking forward to us coming to Knoxville on the 31st. And, we're going to have some great tag team wrestling as well. I mean, the Fixers versus the Country Gentlemen, and so much more. We have the Ultimate Team War match. And Gary, I understand you actually have some breaking news when it comes to
Yeah. So one of the big matches that is coming up on the January 31st NWA Power Live is, of course, the Champions Series Finals. That is the Ultimate Team War. Huge matchup. You can see all the people involved in this match. But we did receive some breaking news before going on air. And it's not, unfortunately, not great news, but it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But it looks like Genocide is not medically cleared for NWA Power. That is all we've been able to get out of this right now, ascertain. So we're not sure what this means exactly for the Ultimate Team War, but we do know that Genocide won't be able to compete. So as you can see, she's a big part of Team Rock and Roll there.
And Gary, just to interject here, because I got a little extra information. It is a minor injury. It's nothing like you have to worry about her career ending. It's just, timings of certain things, in this, anybody who follows Genocide on her social media knows how hard she trains. I mean, constantly, whether it's wrestling or MMA, she hangs from a bar and has people punch her in the stomach as hard as they can.
Right.
Nobody's as tough in the entire sport of pro wrestling as Genocide. So, but at a certain point you get injured and you got to just take a minute and take a step back. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I understand, some offers have been made between Team Tyrus and between Team Rock and Roll to kind of see if we can get a replacement for Genocide. I think Team Tyrus probably has a little bit of extra pull because they get to make a decision here. But hopefully we'll have some big news coming up in regards to that match. So keep following us on social media. Genocide, like I said, minor injury. She's just going to miss pretty much, from what we understand, based on her schedule. She'll probably be able to be healed up by the time we have the Nuff Said pay-per-view. So definitely be back. But yeah, let us know in the chat. I've already seen a couple of recommendations from the fans out there. Natalia Markova, Max the Impaler. I mean, there's a lot out there. There's a lot.
I don't mean to laugh, but Mark Markington saying Genocide committed medicide. I don't know why.
That's kind of funny.
I couldn't hold it. I started laughing.
All right.
I was like,
but yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's always the thing, is like cards subject to change. And that's the thing when you take a look at the National Wrestling Alliance and the level of athletes that we have, and what they do professionally in the sport of professional wrestling, or in the extracurriculars and mixed martial arts or anything like that. Injuries happen when you're going to be going at 1,000 miles an hour all the time, and that's what also makes you one of the best in the world, is because you're going so hard and you're going so tough and you're putting yourselves in those situations. So, Genocide will be back better than ever. The Bionic Beast isn't going anywhere.
There's no keeping Genocide down.
But so it'll be just interesting to see. And like I said, it's still being worked out between Kerry Morton and Tyrus, and also the management, whether it's Billy or Pat, or seeing who's going to be what's going to be made. So either we're going to find out either on social media leading up to the live power, which is next Tuesday, everyone, or we'll find out the day of the show when we're live. We'll see how it is. So
it's crazy to think that it's already sneaking up on us here.
We're 8 days, 8 days away. How crazy!
Oh man, I'm excited to see what becomes of this. And yeah, Genocide, fantastic competitor. It's definitely, and especially good to hear that it's not.
Gary's a huge fan of Genocide. He's been talking about it for years.
I love Genocide. She is one of my favorites. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's no.
He was messing with the mic, and
that's been happening to me lately. If I hit this the wrong way, there's like a wire here that I have to plug in and plug back out, and then it works again. I think I broke it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Weird. It got really loud in my ears, so I was like, "What did I do? What did I touch?"
What else do we have to discuss here? What else?
Well,
we got
Tom Pritchard's going to be on the YouTube channel tomorrow, I believe. Right?
Is it Pritchard? I thought it was.
Or is it Idol?
Are we going to finally find out what type of doctor Dr. Tom Pritchard is? Because let me tell you something. I got a prostate exam the other day, and Dr. Tom was not there.
Dr. Tom would. You don't.
I don't think he'd be gentle with it.
I think he'd just kick your ass.
I was going to say, you don't want to see what would happen if you asked Dr.
I think he would break his foot off in my ass.
There you go. That'll check your prostate.
Well, what we can talk about is, how about this? There was a great interview just recently with Matt Cardona that came out, I believe today, actually, on WrestleZone.com. If you guys haven't checked that out, there's video. You can get a transcription of it. I have some of the highlights from it. He talked about a lot of different things, but some of it, of course, was the NWA stuff. So let's jump in on some of the highlights there, and I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that.
It was an unfair predicament. I should have gotten a straight up one-on-one rematch. It was a triple threat for the title that I never lost, that I had to relinquish when I got injured. And I didn't get pinned to lose the title, and I didn't get pinned in that match. So I'm glad that Billy has come to his senses, and now one-on-one, myself versus Tyrus for the 10 pounds of gold. I know he is a dangerous opponent. I know he wants to keep that championship. I know he wants to continue to wear it over his shoulder on Fox News, but I need that title back. I need to represent the NWA. The NWA needs me to win. You know, it's the National Wrestling Alliance, not the National Talk Show Alliance. They need a champion like me to be wrestling all over the world. I mean, hell, I am the Independent Wrestler of the Year. You need me as your NWA champion, bringing this title, the 10 pounds of gold, all over the U.S., all over the world, and that's something I intend to do. I have loved my time in NWA. I said it from the moment I got there. I love the opportunity that I get there, not just me, everybody. You know, we get, the formats for the show. Matt Cardona, you have a promo at the podium. Nobody tells me what to say. There's no script. I like that. And that's not just for me, that's for everybody. So I like that freedom. I like that, after the tapings, you get a weekly email reminder of the match graphics, the photos from the matches, everything you need to tweet about, because NWA, it wants to succeed. It wants to get bigger. And so do I. And I really want to sink my teeth into the NWA because I want it to be bigger. Some of the people there, and I'm sure I'll get some heat for saying this, they love just coming a couple times a year, getting to post. I was on NWA Power this week, and then they don't do jack shit the rest of the time. I want NWA to be, how we're doing that live show. I want to do it live every week. I want to wrestle every week for the NWA, not just 5 or 6 times a year and film things in the can. I want to take NWA to the next level. It's the National Wrestling Alliance, not the National Talk Show Alliance. Tyrus is great face of the company, I guess, right? He brings the title on Fox News. Hey, I can't do that, but I can bring it all over the world wrestling. I can wrestle all over the world with it. I can show it off. I can post about it on social media. I can have it, everywhere I go. So I really want to help the NWA grow, but I'm not going to lie, selfishly, to make 2023 the best year of my career. I also like how they're going back to YouTube every week. Let as many people watch this for free as possible, get as many eyes on the product as possible. And then when it's time for a pay-per-view, then they'll shell out their money. You know what I'm saying? You want as many eyes on this product as possible. There's a lot of great talent there. There's a lot of great things going on in the NWA, but if it's behind a paywall to even see it, who's really going to take that chance? So I'm glad that it's back on YouTube, and the live power is definitely going to be a great way to kick that off. I don't want to say a new partnership because they've been with YouTube for a while, but now they're back as they're Tuesdays, it's going to be on YouTube. And I'm glad that everyone is going to start knowing that and know where they can find NWA and watch it for free. I think the YouTube move is a great move. And like I said, they do a great job promoting their shows. Every week you get like an email with all the match graphics, the links to the social media. It's like there's a plan in place, right? So I think it's like, I feel like my career in NWA, it's very similar. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, and well documented for the highs and the lows, right, for both of us. But I think we're both on the rise, and I think it's perfect that we're going to rise together. And it'd be even more perfect if I'm the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't take Tyrus lightly. He's the champion for a reason, right? He's earned that opportunity, and he took advantage of the opportunity when he had the shot at the title against me and Trevor. And he's got his cronies. He's got his whole group. I got the Cardona family. I don't know what the rules are going to be. I don't know if people are going to be barred from ringside or what. But, Tyrus, he's a great representative of the NWA. But I need this title not just for the NWA, for myself. And, like I said, I really got to top 2022. And the perfect way to start that is to become a 2-time champion. They need to tune into this because they are going to witness history. They're either going to witness Matt Cardona win the championship again, the championship I never lost, and take the NWA to new heights, or they're going to see Tyrus win and then the NWA is going to scramble. Because if not me, who? And if not now, when? The NWA, it wants to get to that next level. Give me the goddamn ball.
All right. Well, Matt Cardona with a lot of kind words for the NWA. Also a lot of shots fired to other talent in the locker room. Also making his case for why he should be the world's heavyweight champion. He's going to get an opportunity to do that at Nuff Said on February the 11th, live from the Egypt Shrine Center in Tampa, Florida. Of course, this graphic says tickets are available at nwatix.com, but that is incorrect because tickets for Nuff Said are sold out.
But you can watch it on Fight, baby.
But you can see it on Fight. So make sure you can confirmed pre-order that pay-per-view right now on Fight. So make sure you do that if you're not going to be able to be there live. But I got to ask you guys, and Kyle, I can throw to you first. If you, what do you think about some of the stuff you heard from Matt Cardona there?
I mean, I'm always gonna say that I like it when talent appreciates the things that get done to try to help it, because let's face it, it's hard enough doing things on a daily basis. But if you kind of give somebody a little bit of an Iggy and some information to put out there, it makes it easier on everybody. I'm glad that Matt said that. I also agree with him that getting more eyes on the product is more important than anything at this juncture. We had momentum going into COVID. Let's face it, COVID screwed up so much and ruined so many people's lives. The NWA was touched very negatively by COVID. We're not even going to get into that. I'm just putting it out there. It happened right when we transitioned off of YouTube. Unfortunately, it was the worst timing ever. And we were happy to be on Fight. And Fight was fantastic. And they were a great partner. And we're still on there for pay-per-view. But we want to make sure people know what's going on. We believe in what we're doing right now. We want to make sure as many people can witness it. So the YouTube deal right now is where it's at. Tune in, watch it, tell your friends. There's nothing to stop you. There's no paywall or anything to stop you from sharing it with everybody you know. If you see something that you love, make sure somebody else sees it, because you never know what somebody's missing out on. Some of my favorite things I've ever witnessed in life are just because somebody showed me a clip of something. Maybe I was busy looking at 37 other things, but if that 38th thing is the thing that hits, make sure somebody knows about it. And Matt Cardona is definitely somebody who's been able to build a brand for himself, help the National Wrestling Alliance build a brand as well. Matt Cardona, he looks like a star. He acts like a star. He carries him like a star. And he also, I don't know if he really likes putting out there, but he likes to help other people get to where they need to be as well. With the major wrestling stuff, with bendies, with merchandise, with this, he wants people to have an opportunity. But the thing with Matt Cardona is, if you have an opportunity, don't effing waste that opportunity. He has never wasted an opportunity he's been given. Sometimes it doesn't work out for him, but he hasn't wasted any of that. And that's all he's asking from everybody else. Rise up to the expectations, put the work in. When somebody's in front of you and says, hey, can you do this? Run with the effing ball. Matt Cardona, he's got the right attitude. And one day I hope he is champion yet again.
Joe, the big quote out of that definitely felt like at the end there, where he's like, if the NWA wants to grow, they want to continue. He's obviously very appreciative of all the things like Kyle mentioned, but he's definitely there at the end. If you want to get to the next level, give me the goddamn ball, to quote him.
It's not up to us. It's up to him.
No.
So if he wants the ball, he's going to have to do it, and he's going to have to do it at Tyrus's own pay-per-view. And let's just see the facts that we've seen here. Every time we have a pay-per-view that's named after a person, it doesn't really particularly go that person's way. That's where Matt Cardona had to relinquish his title at Always Ready. So it's not, thinking that, you're walking into something that's named after your catchphrase. You're just going to have the red carpet rolled out and you're going to be able to just, wait until the bell rings and have your hand raised. No, I mean, it's going to be a fight. You've got two guys there with incredible history. And, it's just, I appreciate where he's coming from, and you could see it from both sides. I think you could see it from both sides as a fan, because you have to think of the entire, not just the wrestling landscape out there, but everybody who takes time to ingest television. So you have the audience out there that is the wrestling audience that is going to follow Matt Cardona. They're going to follow his Twitter. They're going to look at his GIFs from NWA, from GCW to Impact, to wherever he pops up. He might even show up at the Royal Rumble for all we know. So, they're always going to be there. And then you're going to have another group of folks that probably, there's a large portion that see Tyrus on that talk show and they're big fans of Tyrus. Then maybe they've fallen out of being a fan of professional wrestling because of the way it's changed over so many years. And maybe they're going to come to the NWA and give it a shot. I think that there's a possibility that we're going to see that in Tampa for sure, that there's going to be a lot of people there that are first time NWA folks, and they could be first time in a long time wrestling folks because he's bringing that large potential audience there. So either way, it's a win-win for the National Wrestling Alliance, in my opinion, because, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's very similar to what you see in other sports. I was watching the Cowboys-Niners game yesterday. And, I am in the heart of Texas. I'm surrounded by Cowboys fans. And so that you really are pulling for it. But then you've got all of my family originally from California that's rooting for the Niners. So you actually get that nice dynamic in there where you have fans that have different people to cheer for. And you're going to get a mixed crowd. And I think that that's really interesting. I think we definitely saw that in New Orleans for sure. I think, people thought, Tyrus was going to show up and it was going to be a lot of boos. There were a lot of cheers. There were a lot of folks that showed up and they wanted Tyrus to not sign a replica belt, but they wanted to sign his book. So, it's interesting to see where we're going to be going from there. The greatest benefactor, I think, are our fans and then the National Wrestling Alliance itself, though. This is a big money, marquee matchup. And that's why, we were able to sell it out as quickly as we were. And I think that that's important.
I think online, if you were to just look at Twitter, it's pretty crazy to just see like the reactions both guys get. Like Matt Cardona, obviously, on like somewhere like that is the hero, and Tyrus is the villain. But then, yeah, in person, face to face, like it blew my mind at the book signings that Tyrus did. Just the lines that would get together for that guy.
Speaking of which, book signing, before enough said, there is going to be also in Knoxville. He plans on having a book signing before each show. So if you bring a copy of it, I'm being told by Tyrus he's going to be there and he's going to be ready to sign books before the show.
Hey, Kyle, this is just for you. I got to talk to Pat, so I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, go talk to Pat because we're figuring that out right now.
All right. So Joe was bringing up, and we can start wrapping things up here. But Joe was
sorry, guys, office stuff going on.
Yeah, look at that. What do you think about? And I'm curious, and for you, chat, just as a final thing we discussed here before we wrap this thing up tonight. Joe was mentioning this deal with Matt Cardona and Tyrus. Obviously, Tyrus appearing on Fox News like 4 times a week in front of 2 to 3 million people every single time, always carrying the 10 pounds or the 12 pounds of gold, as he would put it. All those people see it, and you see the people show up to the show that you wouldn't expect to be there, that maybe you're giving it a shot for the first time. How does that compare to somebody like traditionally the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion was? Kyle is more enamored with himself in the camera.
Yeah, right yeah, baby.
Traditionally, a lot of fans who think of the NWA think of it as like that historical aspect of the traveling world's heavyweight champion who's everywhere, who is defending it at all times, showing up in different territories. He's the man. Tyrus obviously is not that kind of champion, which I'm not saying is good or bad. This is what the question is what do you think about that compared to like the Tyrus champion, that style champion who is a celebrity, a well-known celebrity who's on television weekly, multiple times in front of millions of people, or the guy like Matt Cardona who wants to win the world's title and take it around to different territory in front of wrestling fans? I don't know. How do you feel about that, Kyle? Do you think one has an advantage over the other?
I think they both have an equal advantage, and I think the key is to find a happy medium between those two. If you are a champion, is you have to make sure that people recognize that you are the main individual that's carrying a brand, but you also have to be there and be able to be seen by people in a local market. You need to travel, you need to put your name out there. I think that's my biggest issue with Tyrus is as champion, he is so busy and he is so in want of everything. He's on his own tour. He's on cable networks every freaking other night, it seems. But inversely, you can make the argument that, like, as a champion, you shouldn't be available for everybody. You shouldn't always be seen. You are an attraction. You are a special event. You are the main event. Matt Cardona, however, realizes that the people are the thing that builds you. If people can't relate, if they can't reach out and touch you, then you're losing a big market. You're losing a lot of people that could support you and follow you and help you grow. And it is kind of a relationship that is mutually beneficial to be that guy who's available. So it's just two people that look at the world in a very different way. I'm a star because people recognize me as a star, or I'm a star because people can't touch me and I'm bigger than that. Whether Tyrus would agree with that comment or not, I mean, he claims to be a man of the people, but again, that man of the people is doing a lot of things that your average person will never be able to touch or relate to. So it's a happy medium about that. I've known both types of champions. I've known people that'll go anywhere and do anything, and they'll stay late and they'll be a part of anything. And I've known champions that are, yeah, you want to see me buy a ticket on that date because I'll be there, but you won't see me otherwise. I got no time for that. I'm a big deal. It all depends. There's no right or wrong answer. It comes down to you as a fan. Who do you want? What do you feel? Do you want somebody that could represent you, that may be in some place that you may be, that might show up in your hometown, have a title defense, do something in your area? Or do you want somebody where you're like, oh, that person's unattainable? That feels so much bigger than everything. So I look at them like a major star. A lot of people talk about how Hollywood and actors and stuff like that with social media and everything. People are human now. You get to know a little bit about a person. You get to experience them on a daily basis. You get to see the lives they live. And it kind of makes that mythology not quite what it once upon a time was. Whereas back in the day, you would see somebody on a big screen. You'd see them on your television. You'd see them like just in person in a ring, and you'd never know anything about them. You couldn't touch it on any level or any aspect. The world's changed, and the champions have to change with them. The National Wrestling Alliance is changing with the world around it. Would I love for us to still be able to be what we were in the 70s and 80s and big and this, that, and everything? And just, yes, we're a studio wrestling program, and we're trying to be different. We're trying to live up to the expectation. But then sometimes people get mad, like, oh, there's people getting weddings. Well, I'm sorry, true love exists, and people deserve to be happy, and they want a primary place to show that, and they were going to do that on Power Live. And I hope the wedding goes off without a hitch, because I want true love to survive. But wrestling's always been that way, folks. It's always had the big things, the small things, the matches, the heart. Pro wrestling is a part of life, guys, and life has ups and downs, peaks and valleys. It has small little moments and big ass moments. It's got comedy, it's got humor, it's got adventure, it's got action, it's got heartache, it's got horror, it's got drama, it's got sadness. It has everything. There's going to be a little bit of that for everything. And I just wanted a completely different tirade, guys, and I'm sorry, but that's what just happened.
I actually loved that quote.
There is a little bit of everything for everybody, and I just hope that you have the patience and the wherewithal to find a little bit and a little something that you bring joy, and it brings you joy, and there's a happiness to it. Because wrestling is one of the coolest things ever, folks. The National Wrestling Alliance exists because fans support it. It exists because you want it to exist, and because we want to be a part of that. And whoever becomes champion after Nuff said, I hope that person has the same vision, the same goal, and the same every little piece of heart that we have about it, which is to bring the best quality product, athleticism, violence, sport, joy, sorrow, any damn thing you could think of. I want you to be able to experience that in National Wrestling Alliance show.
Man,
weird tirade. Sorry.
No, I actually,
blood sugar's low.
Sometimes when we can direct that energy, it's so awesome. So no, I love that. It's funny now, just this whole situation. The idea that Cardona, in some people's eyes, is going to go into this thing as the hero, and Tyrus is the villain, and probably vice versa for others. I look at Tyrus as like the Kingpin from Marvel. Like, he's just that big, like, brick wall.
I do picture he could crush a man's skull with his bare hands too.
Right. He's just up there, just being big and strong, and just like, just appearing when he needs to murder somebody. And it's not
Wilson
literally.
Fisk
not
also
literally.
he became mayor of New York City. He had very, very, very legit business ventures that he had within Marvel Comics that sometimes were not on the up and up, but still, at the end of the day, comparing Tyrus to Kingpin. Big, strong man, bigger than life, saying the right thing at the right time, but could hurt you when he needs to. I mean, that's a dangerous champion right there. the thing is, do you think Tyrus has your best intentions in mind, or do you think he has his best intentions in mind? I think depending on how you answer that question, it's how you feel about him as champion. Same thing with Matt Cardona. That's what I'm a big fan of this match. It is two clashes of styles and two men that, depending on how you look at it, are the heroes or the villains of their own story.
And they're both just going off what you just said. They're both telling you that they're what's best to grow the National Wrestling Alliance. They both think that their way is the best way, that they are the best representative for the NWA to take it to the next level. And so it's up to the fans to decide who you back, who you believe on that aspect of it, because Tyrus is definitely a lot different than Matt Cardona.
And here's the thing. I hear people asking, how come we haven't announced more episodes about more matches about Enough Said? This live power is going to set up so much that's going on at that pay-per-view, I feel. And also, let's talk about the Champion Series again. Champion Series is anybody that wins on the winning team will get a championship title opportunity in the future at any time. So literally, who's to say that right off the bat, we're not going to find some crazy shenanigan? Like if Thrill Billy Silas Mason is on a winning team and he becomes a guy with an opportunity to be a world champion, like who's not to say that Thrill Billy is going to do something either brilliant or stupid during that Matt Cardona Tyrus match? Who's going to say? I have no idea what's going to happen, folks. Coming up, we're going to have live power setting the stage for everything that happens in the coming months in the National Wrestling Alliance. And I want to thank you for staying with us, because of scheduling conflicts, we have these interview shows, and I hope you're enjoying them. There is actually 2 parts for the Austin Idol and 2 parts of the Dr. Tom Pritchard. So in case you're wondering, oh, that already happened, it's actually a part 2 that'll be going on there. Well, live power is when matches are all going to be coming back. And then from that, we are alive and kicking and going forward. Because again, we've got Mexico City coming up. I want to tell you all about the other things, but screw it. Joe's not here to tell me to stop. We're looking at some Chicago dates coming up in the very near future. And by very
Chicago
near,
being requested recently. So
well, that's good, because we're talking about that. I wish I could talk about the other things that are happening, but World is a Vampire Festival is not just a one event that's happening in Mexico City. There is other talks of that, and the National Wrestling Alliance would be involved with that as well. A lot of transition going on, a lot of talk here. I want to tell you when the Crockett Cup is. That is based off of what I'm talking about right now. It's crazy because I can't tell you one big thing that's happening, because then it ruins everything else. But that one big thing is a catalyst for a bunch of other choices being made. I actually have my sheet open right here. And, Chicago, there's a possibility. Maybe Philadelphia, that's a possibility.
Well, look at Joe back.
NWA 70.
Like, what the hell did you do, Kyle?
I haven't said anything. I'm just talking about theoreticals. Like, what if we went to Chicago?
Joe,
I think you're muted, baby. You're muted. Or he's just messing with me.
I think we've talked about it a lot, and I think we've made it very clear that we're making some really big strides this year. It's just, pen to paper. Actually, from what I understand, and some certain documents that were submitted today with certain verbiage, I'm hoping we can make a really big announcement.
I was just talking about
tomorrow.
that. We can't talk about the other stuff, because until that thing happens, we can't make the rest of the dominoes.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But Chicago definitely, it just makes sense. It's Billy's backyard. It's a great wrestling town. I could see just in the chat, we'd sell out in a day,
Yeah, Chi-Town Heat would be an amazing thing to happen.
Yeah. Or,
I don't know.
Whatever we want to call it.
It's exciting for all the reports that you see sometimes on the
I think I got the perfect name, Gary. It's the perfect name. Bullseye.
NWA Bullseye.
But I'm always up for going to places we haven't been before, and obviously an after party at Madame Zeus's would be fantastic. I really want to try that vegan meatball sandwich without having it shipped to my house, but you can get it shipped to your house. Go to the Madame Zeus's website. You can order food to go there. Support William Patrick Corgan, and that would totally rock. I agree with you. And hopefully this year we will have 6 pay-per-views. 1, 2, yeah. It's looking like it'll be 6 pay-per-views, no problem.
Oh, this is exciting. So despite what some of the trolls want, and the NWA is far from dead, there are more dates to be announced. So much in the planning stages right now that just can't be announced exactly. So just know that know that I can tell you from personal experience that Kyle and Joe are busting their ass every single day trying to make things happen. So
folks, I have 7 spreadsheets open and then a list of matches and rosters and expected dates and everything right now. Like, trust me, there's plenty coming around the
this
corner.
This morning to like 100 unread emails.
Yeah.
As did Kyle.
So there's stuff around the corner. You just gotta, we had to take a little hiatus here. And I hope again, you enjoy the episode 2 of Austin Idol with NWA Presents, and then the Dr. Tom episode as well. A lot of information. And again, one day we're going to find out what Dr. Tom is a doctor of.
Can you bring up Sherry's comment right there from YouTube? There you go. Thanks for the heads up, Sherry. Sherry knows.
Is that not what you're supposed to say? It's not a thing.
According to Sherry, she would know.
Oh,
Sherry, another very, very hard worker in the National Wrestling Alliance atmosphere. So if you don't know about Sherry Shaw, or if you don't know about Staria, you guys should check them out. They're available on Spotify. So
that's just like in Atlanta when people would be like Hotlanta. I'm like, nobody calls it Hotlanta. Don't do that.
So yeah, Sherry knows all, says Polka Dot Pam. That's it.
That's a fact.
No, guys, listen, it's so hard right now. I can just say it's like, because I'm sort of in and sort of out. I got like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I can tell you that the stuff I see, there are so many people working so hard.
We sent Gary something the other day, and Gary's like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw something. I was like, is this a typo? Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, this is because Kyle and Joe get so busy. I think they assume I just know telepathically the stuff they know, and I don't. And,
hey, any day now we can announce blank, and he's like, wait, blank? And we're like, oh, so quick story, this is about blank and how we got here. Oh
yeah, so just know there's constantly stuff happening. Joe and Kyle are they're getting a fire hose of information sprayed right at their face, and which is beneficial if you're Kyle and making out with a pizza in a car, or whatever. But just
messy.
And I'm with Axel here, by the way. I know, Axel, we need NWA in New York.
I agree with you, man. I literally,
New York is
so many of us
head.
that are New England people that are up in that corner of the country that want to be a part of it. I don't even live up here anymore, but I'm here, I'm visiting, and I would love to be able to have to say, hey, guess where I'm going up there. But it's not going to happen during the winter, folks, because winter weather advisories are going in full effect right now for the East Coast. And we don't want that stuff to happen during a wrestling weekend. But summer months, different story, or even fall. New England's beautiful when the leaves are changing. Just going to
trust me when I tell you, Axel. I have mentioned New York to anybody that will listen. And so, maybe one day. So it'll be exciting. But yeah, Chicago, New York. I think there's some Texas cities that are like the ones that you just hear every single day. Somebody is asking for that. And yes, it is like doing the hokey pokey, Eric. All right, we got to get out of here. We've talked enough. There's so much going on. Just stay tuned. You'll hear more and more as the weeks go on. And then, of course, January 31st is NWA Power Live. That is going to be a huge event. Tickets are still available right now at nwatix.com, but you got to get there. You got to get there now. Knoxville is going to sell out. It is just a matter of time. So if you miss out, you miss out. You're going to have to watch it on YouTube, which isn't so bad. You can watch it on YouTube. But right now, enough said, February 11th, the only way you're going to see that one is on Fight. So you got to go there right now. Pre-order that pay-per-view. And we love you guys. Thanks for being here, everybody. Anything from you guys? Anything? No? All right,
just more great programming. And then, of course, for you music fans out there, WPC 33 dropping tomorrow as well. So lots of stuff, lots of content out there.
And, of course, we miss Will tonight. And Doc Stinson, if you want to talk to us about any of the other stuff, we're available tomorrow night on the youtube.com/@thisisprowrestling. You can come talk to us.
Hey, real quick, I want to do this plug for Mike Durband Productions meet and greet before. We're going to have the standard thing that we do. Doors are open and you'll be able to buy some merch from our wrestlers. Yeah.
I had Thrillbilly Silas Mason tonight texted me. He goes, hey, man, I'm going to be able to sell my merch. I said, yes, you are.
So you'll be able to say hi, buy a T-shirt, and hang out with them just before the show.
Yeah, everybody generally asks that, but the NWA has been good so far about like a lot of the talent want to get out there with the fans.
Yeah,
before shows.
for sure.
So.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We love the hashtag NWA fam. And we're going to do our best. Joe and I were talking about this earlier. We're going to do our best to try to be here next Monday night, even though it's right before NWA Power Live. So we're going to see what happens with that.
Oh my God. You know what we should do?
What?
We should see if there's good Wi-Fi in the lobby and just do a lobby episode.
Oh yeah, you weren't on that call because your phone was broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
We covered it. We're going to try.
Yeah. That's what we're going to shoot for. So we're going to try to be there live in the hotel and talk to whoever we can get our hands on. Love it. All right, everybody. We're out of here. Enjoy your damned great.